Okay, Real with Robo coming at ya. Goodness, it's time to get real. The stimulus bill yesterday that was passed in the Senate. Now, folks, don't get your hopes up. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't want to crash your dreams. I don't want to crash your hopes. I don't want to hurt your feelings, do nothing. But you know, I keep it real. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass. I ain't going to put rainbows and dance around with sugar canes, okay? I'm going to give you the real. The fact of the matter is, just because it passed the Senate does not mean it's an actual going to happen solid thing. On Friday, they're going to put it down on the House floor, the House of Representatives floor, and see if it passes there. Yesterday, it passed 96-0. So everybody in the Senate voted to give money out. Everybody. Okay? So like I said, do not get too happy, because the simple fact is it hasn't passed the House yet. And it hasn't touched the president's desk. When it touches the president's desk and he signs it and he puts pen to paper, that's when we get excited. So settle down. It's not guaranteed. Now, I want to explain what was in the bill. For companies and corporations and all that, the only thing I understand about that, because like I was not asked to do one on that, I was asked to do a Real with Robo on the people's part, okay? From that, all I understand is that the companies and the corporations will get a loan. That's only a loan. It will turn into a grant. Like, you know, a check from the government, a free check from the government, if they only furlough people and not get rid of them. So basically what I'm saying, if you say, you know, you guys go home due to the coronavirus, and when this crisis is over, we're going to bring you back. You know, so you haven't lost your job. We're still going to pay you, but it's going to be like a paid vacation kind of thing going on. That's when the money turns into a grant. And that's also when the corporation or the company has to send documentation to the government showing I'm paying these and these and these and these employees this and this and this amount of money. Okay? That's companies, that's corporations. I don't do all that. All right? Now, when it comes to the regular people, the workers, in the bill, it didn't have anything about SSI or people that are on welfare. So we can basically assume we're not getting one. However, if you are on SSI, if you are on welfare and you filed taxes last year, because say your husband worked like mine did, you will be getting a check. And the amount will be $1,200 for a single person. So like if you're on welfare and you work part-time, $1,200 for a single person, $2,400 for a married couple, and $500 per child. I've heard rumors. Don't quote me on this. This is not factual. This is not evidential. I have not seen it. Therefore, I do not believe it. However, I heard that there's a cutoff of 3 children. Now, this information may or may not be wrong about the cutoff of 3 children. So, y'all gonna have to tell me. Also, these checks are going to be one time only, meaning it will not follow the rules of the unemployment ones. Okay? So you are not getting a check every month from the government for that amount. You are getting a check. One. All right? And what they're going to base it on is your taxes that you filed last year. So from your job the year before that. Okay? For people that don't understand, your last tax season. Okay? Because I don't understand that. So basically what you made the year before last. Okay? Let's keep it basic so everybody understands. If you made $75,000 or lower, you will be getting the full amount. $1,200 or $2,400, $500 per kid. Okay? If you made over $75,000 the year before last, for every $100 that you made over, that's how much they're going to dock you. They're going to dock you $5 per $100. So let's keep it simple, because I like simple. Instead, say you made $75,100. Instead of getting $1,200 as a single person, you will get $1,195. As a couple, you will get $2,395. You see where I'm going with this? But per child is flat across the board, from what I understand. It's $500, period. So like even if you made $75,100, you will still be getting $500 per child. Now, the people that worked that will not be getting checks are the single people that made over $99,000 the year before last. Okay? So if you're single and you made over $99,000, if it was just $99,000 and a penny, you're not getting a check. If you're a couple and you got $198,000 or over, you're not getting a check. Okay? So that's how the breakdown goes with that. Basically, if you paid taxes, you're going to get a check. I don't know about the SSI. I don't know about the welfare. I just know about those regulations of taxpayers. You had to have filed taxes last year. Now, if you own your own business, you own your own little thing, you do your own gigs, you're going to have to contact the government and give them proof. Hey, I paint cars for a living. It's an odd job I do. But this is what I make. But I'm on SSI. SSI and welfare has nothing to do with it. If you paid taxes last year, you will be getting a check. So all those millennials that are dancing around right now thinking they're going to get $1,200 freebie money or whatever, and they live in their mom's basements and they didn't pay taxes last year, you're not going to get it. Okay? Now for unemployment people will have their checks bumped up $1,000. I'm not sure if it's per month or per week, so don't quote me on that. They didn't say anything about that. They just said that they're going to get their money bumped up $1,000. Okay? But when the human services of the government and the CDC says the crisis is over, your unemployment checks will drop back down to what it is. So say you make $700 a month on your unemployment. This is just a figure I am making up. I know nothing about unemployment, so don't expect any of this to be correct. This is just a basic, simple example. Say you make $700 a month on unemployment. What's going to happen is that you will start getting checks every time you get paid by unemployment to add up to $1,000. So if you get paid per month, you'll be getting $1,700 per month. And if you get paid per week, they'll break it down per week. Now, as I said before, don't get used to that. Keep looking for a job. Because right when the government says this crisis is over, your payments will drop right back down. Meaning, if you get $1,700 in May, and May 23rd, they say, okay, the crisis is over. In April, you will be getting $700. So do not rely on that money being there all the time. It will not. I made this video because I know how people react to free money. And I know some people will get excited and say, ooh, I'm getting a check. I'm going to go ahead with my SSI check or my welfare check and go ahead and buy me a new PlayStation or an Xbox or go blow it on a night out. Yeehaw! And then all of a sudden, they don't get a check. And they're all like, but I thought we were going to have a... Shit, I should have paid my rent. That's another thing. Not all places that charge rent, charge utilities, will give you a break. So don't expect that. There are some cities that are doing that and some that are not. Do not expect that. Do not go in there like, yeehaw, I'm going to have free rent next month. Because I heard in Chicago they're giving free rent next month. Well, you don't live in Chicago, do you? And you don't live at that particular apartment building, do you?
And some are only deferring it.
Yeah, some are saying, well, you know, when you get your money back, you could start paying this off. So, like I said, quick rundown. The checks will be one time only for taxpayers. $1,200 for single, $2,400 for a couple, $500 per kid. Now, it may or may not have a cutoff at 3 kids. Don't quote me on that part. That's only if you filed taxes and you made under $75,000. Not last year, but the year before. If you made $75,000 or over, every $100 over, they will dock you $5. I've already broke that down. If you didn't get it, rewind, go back, re-listen. Unemployment, you will be getting $1,000 bump. However, when the crisis is deemed over by the government, so is that $1,000. SSI, welfare recipients, unless you filed taxes, you will have to prove to the government that you get paid under the table, and well, that's going to screw your SSI and welfare. Because you're not supposed to be getting paid. Companies, corporations, businesses, you're going to have to deal with the government on that. From what I understand, once again, if you do not fire your employees, but you give them like paid vacation during the crisis, the government will pay you to pay them. And it'll be a grant. However, if you do not hire those employees back and bring them back, it will be a loan and you will have to pay it back. I wanted to make this video after I was able to dig into the bill and get all of the information, but I figured since I watched the whole, 11 hours of all of our senators postulating and primming their feathers and...
Licking each other's balls?
But really?
Sorry.
Well, at least he didn't say what I was going to say. Anyway, sucking each other's D. And doing all that. You know, from what I understand, these are the rules. Okay? So taxpayers get a one-time only check. Unemployment get a $1,000 bump that will stop after the crisis is over. But I wanted to explain to you something else. This is where you need to listen. Really listen. Okay? So turn off your TVs, turn off your children's mouths, and listen. That bill has passed the Senate. That does not mean it is guaranteed. That does not mean we're definitely going to get it. Okay? So prepare for that. It still has to go through the House of Representatives, which they will vote on it on Friday. Okay? So you get that, right?
That would be the 27th, by the way.
It still has to pass the House. Then it has to go to the president. Okay? So until President Trump, and I know some of y'all hate him, but I'm sure when he does this, you're going to love him. When he puts that pen to that paper and signs his name and makes it guaranteed, that is the time to celebrate. But don't go out and waste your money just yet. The Treasury Department said that after it goes through that process, it will take between 2 weeks and a few months to get the checks out. So don't expect anything until May.
Much like your taxes.
Basically, this is what I'm saying. By the time the crisis is over, that's when we'll get our stimulus package. So I wanted to make this video to ensure that people don't waste their money, don't act stupid, and don't get caught up by their own excitement. It is very exciting to get free money. However, I wanted you to have the reality of it, the real. Don't get excited until Trump puts pen to paper. And then don't go all out until you actually get the check. The people that did not pay taxes are not working, you will not be getting a check. So that's what you need to focus on. People on SSI and welfare, I doubt if you'll get a check. It wasn't in the bill. Not that I saw. Unless your spouse worked and you had to file taxes, you won't be getting a check. I'm sorry. And unless you have a legal job where you went to file taxes, but your tax rep said there's no point in you filing taxes, then you need to contact the government and let them know and provide proof. And also remember, it will take between 2 weeks after Trump puts pen to paper until May. And I'm thinking May because the IRS and unemployment, they are working with outdated technology. 1, 2, they're the IRS and unemployment. 3, they're government. So it's just like that. Okay? This is not a free ride for everybody. This is a bump, a helping hand to workers, to taxpayers, to companies, so that when this crisis is over and the companies rehire the workers, our economy will go through the roof again. This is like a pat on the back from our president saying, good job, you worked hard. Now let us help you. You helped America run. Now let us help you. So I wanted you guys to know the real, because the videos that are out about this are bullshit. But mine is always factually correct. And as you see, if I don't know the information, I'm going to tell you I don't know the information. Or I've heard it somewhere, don't quote me on it, it may or may not be true. Okay? I want you guys to be safe. I want you guys to be financially secure. I want my friends, who YouTube calls subscribers, to be completely aware and informed. Unlike the other idiots out there who are listening to the other YouTubers and they're saying, oh, we're going to get a check, we're going to get a check. And they live in their mom's basement and eat Hot Pockets and wear man buns, and they don't go to work and they don't do shit but sit on their duff and go protest all day. you're not getting a check. Period. You have to be a taxpayer. You have to be unemployed, on unemployment. You have to be a corporation or a company that is paying workers to be furloughed or quote unquote paid vacationed during this crisis. And the bill is to ensure that when this crisis is over, we'll continue going up. Right now, we've hit a plateau. Okay? The stimulus is supposed to plateau us until the crisis is over and then take us back up. All right? And by the way, I also want to add a tip, a real with Robo Tip at the end while I'm thinking about it. If you own stocks, do not sell. In fact, buy more. Because normally some stocks are like $2,500 per stock, and right now they're like $25 per stock. Buy the $25 per stock so that when the crisis is over and the stock market goes whoop back up, you're going to have $2,500 stocks. And that's something I learned from my mom.
Buy low, sell high.
Yes. Well, his mama, but she my mama, you know. So that's real with Robo. Y'all keep it smooth until you get the check. All right? Pay your bills. Buy your food. Don't go all out. Keep it moist. And then when you get your check, then get your Xbox. Boom! Get your good stuff, okay? But that may not happen until May. That is, if the House passes it, which we all know Pelosi and her little pork bacon piggybacks, she's going to want everything else in it, and people are going to be like, bruh, no. Okay? Just give the workers their money. And so the House may hold it up, because that's just like Pelosi. I'm not hating on the left, I'm just telling what's real. To hold America and her people hostage to get her way. It's a political game for her. And with all the fucking money she has, she's able to play these political games. But I'm not sure if she's going to enjoy the backlash she'll get from it. So let's just hope the House passes it as is, so we could get our funds, so we could get through this crisis, so that we could go back up and skyrocket the economy and get back in. Okay, guys? Until then, keep your excitement at a reality mode. If you don't think you're going to get a check, don't go crazy. If you think you're going to get a check, don't go crazy until you get it. And remember, for those that are not mentioned, like the ones that have legal side jobs, but the tax people told you don't even bother paying, filing for taxes, contact the government. Find out. Because your pay might be so low, and you may be on SSI, but your pay might be so low where you don't need to file taxes. And it's okay with SSI that you have this job. Contact the government, because you might be eligible to get a check. The people that are lazy and don't work and don't care about working and aren't trying to work, you're not going to get a pat on the back for what everybody else does. Okay? Illegals, you're not getting a check. Period. Okay? Because they are coming down on illegals with this bill as well. And I don't know how they're going to do that, but from what I heard, is they're actually going to check your social security numbers and make sure that they're American citizen or legal immigrants, legal aliens that are legal to be in this country numbers. Okay? So if you stole somebody's social security number, they're going to type in the social security number, and they're going to see that person has been dead for 50 years. You might just get a deportation order. That's real. All right? So like I said, this is a thank you to the workers and people that work hard and have a good work ethic for keeping America running. This is a thank you from our president to all of them, left wing and right wing, all over the place wing, saying thank you for keeping America running. Now he's going to make sure we're taken care of. You can't get a better president than that, man. Even if you hate him, you can't get a better president than that. And that's real with Robo. CAG 2020.